Hello and welcome to our Regis community. Everything we're doing these days is by remote, but it's getting done. Father Paul from the Center for Ministry and Service, and as we promised, each Sunday we will bring a message briefly from the scriptures that we will be listening to in our worship. And it's 2 weeks until Easter, so there are a lot of strong images and messages for us that we need to pay attention to, listen to, and hopefully use to enable us to move forward in these very difficult and challenging times. This is the week we talk about Lazarus. Lazarus is the guy in the tomb. If you don't know anything about Lazarus, Google Lazarus now. Get the story behind the story, and then listen to what happens. His two sisters, Martha and Mary, so distressed, so overtaken by death and the things that happen to Lazarus. And what do? They console one another, and they go to find Jesus. They go to find their God to help them to deal with it. They don't know what's going to happen, but they know that something will happen. Does that sound familiar? Is that something that we're experiencing each and every day? It always amazes me how the scriptures just come at us and tell us stories of a long time ago that reach us today. And the faith of Martha and Mary, the two sisters of Lazarus, to call in and support one another and support their faith helps them to deal with one of the most difficult situations that they've ever dealt with. And we are not far from that in our world today with this coronavirus. So let's look at Martha and Mary and the ways in which they were enabled to move forward and do things, even when paralysis set in, when it was so difficult for them. They were still able to move forward and be women of faith. And they are great women of faith and examples to us in our scripture, and also they do also reflect the great faith of the Sisters of St. Joseph, of whom we are very much a part. So let's ask our loving God this day, this Sunday of Lent before the Holy Week and Easter celebration, to enable us to touch our faith and let our faith touch us where we need it most, to enable us to keep moving in the direction we need to move in, to not give up, but to find our God and say, where do we go now and how do we get there?